But let's let's talk about some of this energy that's going to be coming upon us when it comes to the time of 2012 and lots of the things that's coming up. I'm going to talk about a little bit of color magic here and how you can begin to work with colors and the energy that's going to be coming up. I'm going to make a mini prediction here. And I'll put myself out there. I'll make a mini prediction. It seems like that's kind of the energy in the air. But I want to make a mini prediction about some of the colors that we're going to be seeing that's actually going to be coming up this year. It's going to be the color orange, almost like a reddish orange. Look for this color. Everything that is going on with us at this particular time is letting you know that this is all about that energy of fire. It's about that energy of excitement, and it's also about that energy of passion. And let me tell you why. I say that that's definitely going to be the color and some of the signs. If you guys are on a part of the Remix family page on Facebook, you will notice that I put up about the comet Lovejoy, the comet Lovejoy. Now, I don't know how many of you have been following the comet Lovejoy, but I started following some of this energy about the comet Lovejoy a while back. And scientists were predicting that what was going to happen to this poor little comet that was traveling in the dark, traveling so fast that it didn't realize that it was headed straight for the sun, and that once it was going to hit the sun, it was just going to be engulfed and blow up. It was just going to, it was just going to hit, it was just going to disintegrate into the sun, and there would be no more comet Lovejoy. That's what most of them were predicting. So they were sort of kind of mapping out this course of Lovejoy. Lovejoy was really just sort of moving through that dark matter. We've been talking about dark matter for quite a while. Lovejoy, the comet Lovejoy, was moving through this. Well, on the 16th, first of all, I want to ask you guys to kind of do some reflecting here right now. The first thing I want you to reflect on is, what were you doing yesterday at 9 p.m.? Do you know what you were doing yesterday at 9 p.m.? Do you guys? Oh, wow. If you're not in the chat room, you guys should come in the chat room. What were you doing at 9 p.m.? 9:30 p.m., I should say. Someone said spending time with their nephew. That's beautiful. What are some of the other things that you guys were doing? Some people were wishing it was Friday. Some people were on the road. Some people were studying tantric sex. Some people were talking on the phone. Some people were making love. Some people were listening to past shows. Some people were on the computer. Some people were just kind of moving around at that particular time. Well, for most of you, you remember exactly what you were doing around that particular time, or what you were doing. Well, that was the time that Lovejoy actually crossed over and came out on the other side of the sun. And this is when scientists said, wow, Lovejoy made it. Lovejoy made it to the other side. This is like a great discovery that something could actually withstand sort of that heat and that fire of the sun. Because up until this time, just about anything that has even come close to its atmosphere was just burnt up. So that was a really, really good sign of things to come, especially when we begin to talk about the energy that's here now and the energy that's sort of kind of rising up, and being able to see that the rise is still there, that even though some of us may be moving in this time of darkness and we might be going through what is called those flames or those fires, that we will make it to the other side. And what's going to take us to that other side? It's going to be love, and it's going to be joy. So this is the time to really start to begin to be committed to doing those things that you have a love for, first of all, and definitely those things that bring you joy. That is really the universal sign that is coming. It's for you to begin to get into those things of love and get into those things of joy. Find some time to begin to put things of love and joy in your life. This is the sign. This is the symbol. It's been put out there. So it's no longer a secret. And everybody's going to be jumping on that. And let me tell you why. You're going to see this color orange everywhere. So we'll come back. Maybe we'll talk about it a little later in the year, and you guys could say, either MsBlue, you don't know what you're talking about, but you're going to say, MsBlue, you were absolutely right. You're going to see orange everywhere. You're going to see that orangish reddish color everywhere, and for very good reasons. You know, when it comes to the color orange, we know that it's connected to the solar plex, the energy of the solar plex chakra that's located right above, I guess you could say, or located right at the bottom of the rib cage and around the top of the stomach. So that's that particular area. Or if you take 3 fingers or 2 fingers and put them sort of kind of right above your belly button, it's going to be in that particular area. That's where it's going to be. And this is really sort of the core, your center. This is your center, the core of you, the center. You can think of it that way as well, too, the core of your physical body. It's a very intuitive color. It's a very, very intuitive color. So it has a lot to do with that intuitive energy. The color orange has a lot to do with that. It really is about you trusting sort of your intuition, or sort of what we call that gut feeling. Because a lot of change is coming up for 2012. It's going to be a time of change. A lot of energy around the change. And you'll see this. It's also the color I associated with psychic, because this is out of the core where some of that energy is felt with the psychic energy. It comes from there. Orange is a very grounding and it's a very balancing color. Matter of fact, monks often will be dressed in the color orange and also in the color yellow. You will see that, particularly among monks coming out of the culture of Japan and China. You will see them in orange a lot, because orange is a grounding color. It's the color of balance. It's also that color that we see associated with those things in prison. Sometimes prisoners are dressed in orange as well, too. I mean, they changed them to pink, a lot of them, but also that color orange. And this is the reason why for that orange. You're going to see it everywhere, because they're going to be trying to bring this into balance, bring this energy into balance on the planet, really having people to really get creative, because more than ever, like we said, so many people are leaving the planet, that have left the planet, and what is needed now is for us to be very, very creative. That's what the universal energy is calling for, is that creativity. And this orange is going to spark those colors of creativity. So you're going to start to see it even more everywhere. In clothes, there's going to be foods, there's going to be colors. They're going to start really just sort of draping the whole planet in orange. Not to mention, we're not going to get as much sunlight as we did as well. It is that color of sexuality as well, too. So that sexual energy, which is really just your life force energy, it's creative energy, it's the same thing. So creativity, sexuality, all of that is create energy right there. So that's the color right there. We're coming into a universal year, which is about 5. 5 is really, it has a lot to do with excitement. When we think about the 5-pointed stars, you know, 5 is that number of balance, you know. It's sort of that number of balance. It has a lot to do with that, you know. 5-petal roses, you know, is at the center. You see those things on crosses and different things. So much to go on with that, and so much to do with the color orange. You definitely want to make sure that you begin to incorporate orange into your life as much as possible. So pay attention to your intuition. Pay attention to the color of orange, because it has a lot to do with your vitality as well, too. It is the color of self-control. And more than ever, with all of the uprises and things that are going on, some of the color orange is going to be used for self-control. And that's what they actually put the prisoners in. They put the prisoners in that color of orange because it really sort of kind of activates that color of self-control within you. So they want to activate that color of self-control. So the color orange, you guys, definitely you want to get with that. You want to get with that. You want to get with the color orange. We're going to talk about that. So now, let's see. Let's move right on. I want to talk about the DNA box as well, too. This has a lot to do with the energy on the planet, and this is just really, really sort of one of those psycho kind of sexy, cool kind of ways that you actually can begin to work with the energy that's on the planet right now. This is really the time of the year that we call the seasons of the light. And even though it's the darkest time of the year for most of us here in the Western Hemisphere, because this is a time about the light, not the external light like the sun that we're getting, but this is really the internal light, the light that is shining within you. Now, here's something else. This year of 2012, this is where all the revelations is coming up, and it's so much anxiety that's on the planet. Now, for those of us, we know this is a wonderful and exciting time, but we cannot exude the fact that people around us is experiencing a whole lot of anxiety because of the energy. A lot of people are thinking that the world is going to end and that all of these things are going to go. I personally believe that this is really about shifting consciousness, which many of us have already gone through these 2012 events much, much earlier than now. But this is also the time of where they call the marking of the beast, the 666. So let's examine, let's take a look and see is there some real things that's going to be going on in 2012 to really kind of pull some correspondence to these things that are going on, the 666. Yes. Now, 666, the number of the beast, this is what they're calling it. What's going to be significant that happens in 2012? We have some unique energy that's going on within our bodies that also is going to be resonating and corresponding with the energy that's also going on in the planet. And that is the 666, and that also comes with the carbon, yes, the electrons, and all of those different things. That's what the 666 is. But once these energy lines up in 2012, our carbon, our actual physical DNA in our body will change. And it's no longer going to be 666. It's going to be 616. 616. It's changing. This is changing. All of this is changing. We are going to 616. If you add 616 up, it comes to the number 13. That magical number 13. That magical number 13. So this, more than ever, is some of the most powerful time for you to begin to activate and continuously ride that energy to change your DNA, because we will have physical DNA changes that will go on. For those of us who have gotten into consciousness, we know this is something that Brother Panic speaks about a lot, and others, that we've already done things to change our DNA. Your DNA physically can change within your body. Well, this is actually how we are all going to go through this change. We talked about the gateway. We've already gone through the gateway. So that 666, the marking of the beast, we know that those are electrons, those are neutrons, those are protons that are in our body. When that carbon change, when that carbon change, that is physically going to cause your cellular level in your body to change. Hint, this dawned on me. This is why now, more than ever, people have changed their diets who have never changed their diets in a very long time. I'll tell you one that I know everyone has been very shocked when he said it was Brother Bobby Hemmett. He talked about himself becoming a vegetarian. He definitely talked about his own experience about why spiritually, but I know so many people, and even myself, making some changes in my diet as well, too, eating more of those live foods. We know that the carbon, we know what carbon is. What is carbon, you guys? Think about it. What is the carbon? Let's see who can say it. Let's see who can say it. I'm not going to say it. I want to see you guys, somebody in the chat room, tell me what carbon is. What does carbon equate to in our body? I'm going to let you guys ponder that carbon connecting itself. What is also embellished in that carbon is the melanin. This is really